women can lean on other women and make it through life, whereas that's frowned upon in patriarchy.
Find a man, they gonna leave your ass. Plenty, I know
Okay?
plenty of women that was roommate situations. Found a guy, boom, gone.
Saying that the establishment, the agenda, the society is trying to push women to be
blame women for this, because y'all the reason why men are walking around so goddamn feminine, because y'all accept the niggas with the shiny fingernails, the color tip dreads, the tight pants, the goddamn purses on their side, the little wallets. My grandma used to call that a coin purse.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Mac Mall.
All that shit is fatherlessness. You don't know what it feel like to be in the presence of a man that has some authority. How you gonna feel comfortable with this shit out in the world? This is why we end up struggling as young ladies trying to process and like feel comfortable around y'all. I feel like a nigga trying to control you. Feel like you're trying to tell me what to do. Feel like you're trying to use your money to do. It's a lot of shit we misperceive, or we take it the wrong way because we don't know what it feel like to have a daddy that say, this is the decision as a man, and ain't no woman coming and put her 2 cents on it, right? Then you only seeing how a woman solves and processes and run the household. This your programming. Now flip the same shit to a young boy. You 16, 17, fully grown in your build, but you only ever saw a woman run shit. You only ever saw your mama, decide how stuff gonna go in the household. And we nurturers. So a lot of times women don't even realize all that fussing, the way you handling your son, you fucking him up. And this is why it's a lot of niggas that they not gay. They heterosexual males. They are attracted to women, but they can't stand a fucking woman.
So I'm gonna kick it off like this, right? So I don't want to speak for the women. I want to let the women speak for the women. I want to speak to, as far as what she said, as being raised without a father, with a single mother, right? I can attest to that because I came from a single parent home. And let's just be honest, women do a lot of chitter chatter, and they had their sons up under us. And so what happens is it's not only on the mother, it's a lot about where you grew up at, because myself, I came up around a bunch of kids like myself who didn't have daddies. And that's how we always resolve conflict when we was, thinking it was we yelling, and we didn't have emotional stability. We didn't know how to handle things like men until we kind of got to a certain age. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with the fact that being raised by a single mother as a man, I think it can definitely give you feminine traits where you do certain things that kids with daddies wouldn't do. And I had a few friends that had fathers, so that's why I say they didn't act like us growing up. You know what I'm saying? They act like they had some sense. But what y'all think?
I just was reading the comments. Shout out to Hilk and Ali. I was thinking the exact same thing he was saying. I just read the comments, and he said, if you hear how she's talking, she sounds like the exact same thing that she's trying to preach for. She sounds like a dude. She sounds like the man of the household, and she's saying the right things, but I just don't like hearing that tone come from her still, because it just don't sound like that feminine, spirit. It still sounds like something that would turn me off at the same time. Even
like her
though she's saying
tone?
right, yeah, like the tone, the masculinity, hearing it out of her mouth. Like, I'm curious if she has a man in her life also, because she still sounds like a dude saying
Yeah,
that.
she got a boyfriend, but I definitely agree with what you're saying. Like, she's absolutely right, but her tone is like, it's unattractive when you come across like a masculine man. Like, you could you could say what you want to say, but it's a certain way that feminine women speak. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I say that only because I grew up around feminine women. Like my grandma and them, they was old school.
Yeah,
And if they would hear the tone of these women today, man, my grandma would roll over in her grave.
it's crazy. I think a lot of young dudes, man. I think by the time you mature and get into your 30s, I would say, you know exactly what you want. Now, when you're a young guy, like late teens, or just teens and early 20s, the things you're attracted to is a whole lot different than what you're gonna be attracted to later on. So you might be attracted to the woman that's a little more rough around the edges. She like to fight. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might rough each other up a little bit, but once you really mature and become a real man, you're gonna see that shit is not cute. It's annoying, and it's gonna really gross you out after a while, probably.
Well, I'm a
agree with part of what you guys said. Like the way she articulates herself, and she's my woman, I would not agree with it because I would like my woman to have a little bit more femininity and softness to her when she delivers that message. Now, when it comes to the tone and how she articulates herself, and I can sit here and say this because I ain't got no connection to her. I listen to the message more so than the tone and the words chosen because I'm actually listening to understand. And she's actually telling the truth. And to kind of piggyback off what you said, she kind of comes off like she's just now trying to figure out, get in touch with her feminine side. Like she carries so much she comes off. Now I'm just speculating. I'm not saying this is how she is because I don't know her, but she comes off like she carried a lot of masculine energy in her younger years. And now that she's getting older, or she'd have met somebody, or she's, a little bit more well off, she's trying to get in touch with more of her feminine, but it's like she's kind of got that internal battle going on. But she's actually speaking the truth though.
Yeah, I think so too. I genuinely think she probably, like you said, was probably masculine her whole life and then learned the hard way that that's not the way to be. But even though her mental has changed, it's hard to change your demeanor. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to just, she probably was like that for talk like that for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just kind of like hardwired into her. I can't hold it against her. I really can't hold it against her. Because at least like you said, she's saying the right thing.
Yeah.
I don't really look at it. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I can identify with her because I come from the hood, and mostly all of them talk like that. So we don't really, like as men, we don't really take it no harm, no foul unless we dating you. If I'm not dating you, then
Right.
it's I can holler at you like a homie. So I don't really be tripping on that. And I think it's more or less the culture she come up under. Because no matter how much you try, when you've been doing something constantly for so long, it's kind of embedded in you when you get to a certain age. So it'd be kind of hard to get out of that. I think she would actually have a battle trying to be feminine because she too masculine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though she's saying the right thing, she might actually, know how to treat a man because she got a boyfriend.
Can that energy be stripped from a woman like that? I mean, I'm not saying all black women talk like that or act like that, but can that energy be stripped from a lot of the women that do, who still present that masculine energy? I guess single moms, you would say, can that energy be stripped to where you just have women kind of rolling back into more of a feminine role, or are they just stuck the way they stuck? And
if a woman wants to change, she will work at it. There's certain things I wanted, change about myself, and I worked at it. So yeah, definitely.
Me personally, I think that a woman that chooses to be that masculine, she got two choices. Either she gonna find a real soft ass nigga, or she gonna find a real tough ass nigga. She ain't gonna find no in between.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. There is an in between, but nobody nowadays, whether you're a man or woman, puts in the work, because I've made no secret that I do go to therapy, and when you kind of go, and it's not even about going to therapy, but it's about putting in the work for yourself, right? And I've learned the third option that nobody really talks about is when you come across a person that understands your love language and learn about attachment issues, your attachment styles. Like we all got them, you know what I'm saying? And when you can kind of it's like mixing Kool-Aid, sugar, and water. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you get the right mix to make it taste right, man, it's on point. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it kind of comes down to.
Do y'all feel like we should just write off a lot of the like aggressive or masculine women, just write them off and just don't even deal with them at all? Like don't even try and reform them? You just, you feel like we should just only seek out the ones that already have that nature in them? Like
I
just
think
don't even
so.
waste your time?
I think so because at the end of the day, like a lot of women say, put me in my soft girl era, right? And when they typically describe what that means, that's basically like treating them like my daughter. I got to take all your responsibilities away and all your problems away. And I just got to put a red carpet up under your foot. in order for you to be submissive to me. And I don't think that we should have to purchase submissiveness.
Yeah, I'm burnt out. I
Yeah.
don't want to have to reform. I'm be honest. I don't want to have to try and teach you, especially if you're a whole lot older and it's difficult for you to fall. Like, let's say I'm a good guy. Let's say I'm a good guy. I'm striving for greatness, and you like being around me. You still like my presence, but you still have these traits, and then you want me to try and strip these traits away from you. I don't want to. I don't care. You're not about to break me down to try and make you better. I'm just being
Go
honest.
ahead, love
So,
child, and then I'll
Yeah,
go.
go ahead. I want to hear what she got
Yeah.
to say.
yeah,
Yeah.
my bad.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna first say that anything is possible, and as far as like people changing or being stuck in their ways, it's about self-development first, but also with the right person, certain things can evolve. And if you ain't, it's all about feeling safe. If you feel safe, you will be surprised what you let your guard down and allow to open yourself up to. A lot of people don't feel safe. That's men and women. So people are always trying to protect themselves. They in survival mode. It's so many layers that go into that. So that is the biggest factor. But also, ain't nobody ready like perfect. Nobody is already coming to the table 100% like, oh, she's feminine enough so I can deal with her. Oh, he's masculine enough. You know what I'm saying? We all working on something. We all probably still need to heal the inner child in us that we're not really aware of, the trauma that has happened to us. So it's so many layers to that. It starts with growth and a healthy mentality and a healthy perspective. Because if you're looking at it from a broken perspective, you're gonna have a very jaded and screwed mentality towards the opposite sex. Oh, they want to be treated like princesses. I'm gonna say we are created to be treated a certain way, which is also why we're created to nurture and give to our man in a certain way. If your woman not feeling safe and comfortable and healthy and happy, then how can she nurture you? How can she make sure that you are at peace in her presence? Because it's certain things it's certain energy that you have to bring to her to make her feel safe enough to feel emotionally and physically, mentally, and spiritually protected. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that go into it. But if your mentality is not right with it, then you're gonna already have a jaded mentality towards it, and you're not gonna get out of it what you can in a healthy way.
Well,
It
I
really,
wanted to
oh,
comment on what you said in the beginning when you said everybody has like things they need to deal with coming in prior to being in a relationship. I agree with you 100%. But one thing women don't understand is we're not willing to negotiate the feminine part. Like we're not. It's like, okay, for example, if I approach you as a man and I tell you that, and I talk to you like I'm a, part of the LGBTQ community, and I tell you, well, you have to be nurturing for me to be masculine. How would that sound to you?
That's not what
So,
I said. That's that's
no,
that's that's
I'm
that.
saying what I was saying is basically you said that people have things, nobody's perfect. I get that. But I'm saying the feminine part of it is something that men are not willing to negotiate on. We want feminine women. We're not going to say, like, okay, I need to do X, Y, and Z so you can show me that side. No, you have to show me that side so you can get X, Y, and Z. And I think this is where the mishap is at. Because men, we love catering to women. We love that. But we're not finna, we don't like men. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
when I'm at the age where, when I was younger, I don't know how it is now, things have changed, but when I was younger, your female was the only person that saw the soft side of you. I wasn't tough around her at all. I was a teddy bear. You know what I'm saying? So she
Mhm.
saw a side of me that the streets didn't see. So if I'm coming home on a positive note, on a nurturing note, then that should trigger your energy to give it back. You see what I'm saying? Like even if if we meet initially, you should know what kind of man I am. It shouldn't be a test. Like you should court in the beginning, get an understanding of who this person is before it go farther. So you would know, can I be soft with this man or do I got to be hard with this man? That's something you should know when y'all part ways for the first time.
if
Yeah.
I
she
want to.
if she really liked the dude, she will work on that. Like I remember years ago, like this long time ago, I was with a dude, and I am a girly girl. I'm a girl's girl. I like femininity, so forth and so on. But a dude told me, a guy I was seeing a long time ago, he was like, you all like when I'm arguing with you, I feel like I'm arguing with your father, and that
Mm.
stuck. And that stuck with me. And I was like, oh, I don't want to be like that. And that was just something I I learned. I learned
Yeah.
and I worked on that. So if she really liked the guy, if he tell her that's gonna be something to work on, you know.
I want to
That's just
say
my
something
point.
real
Yeah.
quick if I can. So I was married before, and I challenged this manhood a lot. And that was just me going off of what I saw coming up to a certain extent. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that marriage lasted on paper 8 years. Us actually living it in reality was maybe about 4, half of that time. And I didn't like how it ended.
Who
So
ended it?
I
If I can ask.
so I changed myself. That's what and it took a while. It took a while to humble myself and not be so masculine with it. So I think if they continue to get women, if they continue to get negative responses and they say they're not getting anywhere, it seems like they would want to change. Some can. I won't say just X them out completely, but I understand what y'all saying too. You don't have time to be trying to raise nobody and retrain them and things of that
Mm-mm.
sort. But if a woman wants to change, she will.
I think the
But
best time for like my bad, bro. The best time to reform a chick is if y'all start out early, like maybe in like high school, teens, to like 20s. Y'all can grow together. Y'all can learn to change each other. But if you get with a chick that's already of age, like 35 to like 40 or something like that, and she has bad habits, they're probably gonna stay. You
I
know,
agree with that. Cause
if
like
you
I told you that situation, I was
yeah,
25. I was a long time ago.
you
I
know
yeah,
what?
want to hear what you got to say, Vito. What you got to say
But
about the
yeah,
situation? You ain't said nothing yet. What we doing?
Let me check my audio. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, we
ma'am.
can hear you.
we get you.
Okay, good, good, good. Well, and I will have a lot of questions because I was married too, right? So when we even talk about men, we have to qualify the men, as in because as in like Father God, Mother Nature. Father God comes and lays down law and structure and provides and protects, and then Mother Nature comes in and she has her way within that which he created. So a lot of men does not come in and just lay down like structure, law, and things where this woman can't even feel safe to do her thing. So I do agree with Love Child when she says she has to feel safe. And a lot of times what we see is relationships that don't happen, and then these relationships go on and then they become the face of relationships more so on the internet but not in real life. So it's to say when this man comes and dating, if he is not proposing a structural plan of solid leadership, leading with purpose, leading with compassion, leading with like just a growth plan for them to go and take these things head on together, then it's gonna be chaotic. It just is. It just is. So,
Well,
because
Yeah. What?
I'll say this right. So, for that very reason, it confuses me, right? Because I'm definitely a alpha male. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely provide structure, provision, all that. And so
hmm
many times over, I've been in situations where females feel like they're being controlled because there are things that need to be put in place. So, and I've noticed this from experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
That when you allow a man to lead you, right? This is where a
hmm
lot of women fall short at. When you allow a man, now we're saying a man that you trust. This man has
hmm
proven himself to let you know that he's a leader and he got his shit together and he's trying to
Wait,
take you with
let
him,
me
right?
let me ask right there. What
Go
is
ahead.
proving himself mean? How does
What I'm
that look?
saying, what I'm saying is this: he applying the pressure. He letting you know, okay, like he's having serious conversations with you. A man with intention. He's telling you, okay, baby, I want this and this and this sometime. Because I'm speaking from experience. I was in a situation where I wasn't playing no games. I was intentional. And so I told her, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. I want to be married. I want to have a family. I want to have these businesses going on. And this is the time frame that I want to do it in, right? Now, upon meeting, I feel like it was just an infatuation stage because she looking at a nigga that got his shit together. So it's like, yeah, 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 I'm with it. I hear your plan. I hear what you're trying to do. Let's do it. I'm with you. I got your back. And she got me 100 locked in, thinking, okay, she gonna follow my lead. But when it was actually time to make those moves, a lot of women don't understand when you allow a man to lead, right? you are sometimes going to have to make decisions that's based upon trusting him and denying what you think. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And a lot of women struggle with that. When a
It's
man
hard.
has a plan, and you allow him to lead, and he said, baby, this need to go this way, this need to go this way. And in your mind, you might believe it goes another way, right? But are you feminine enough to allow to trust in your man and say, you know what, I think it might go this way, but I'm gonna trust you and let you lead. That's what.
So I hear you now. Now we're villainizing femininity because a better word for that would simply be her ability to trust. That is not always just a feminine thing, right? Because human beings, period, animals, anything has to have the innate ability to trust. So if her innate ability to trust
Well,
has been compromised either with you or triggered by you, then that is the issue, not so much her femininity.
well, let me
Why
say,
wouldn't
can I
she
say
trust
something?
them? Wait,
Can,
why
can, can
wouldn't
I
she
can,
just trust them?
can I jump in? Can
Because
I
that's
jump
what I
in?
said. It's something. Yeah, you could jump in, but it's something that happened either before him or his behavior triggered her, where they're gonna have to have a deeper conversation to say, why don't you just sit back and allow me to do this and trust that I got it? What is the issue? What is
Uh,
making you not trust me? And if that conversation can't get had, or if it's saying, well, she's not feminine enough, it's not just femininity, that's a trust issue.
I think
Well,
a lot of women just don't listen.
don't you think that's something that should have been explained when I was up front and told her, you can't say, yeah, I trust you, let's keep the train moving, and then when it passed one of your stops, you get mad and jump off. That's not how it works.
Okay, she definitely shouldn't be getting mad and jump out. It should be emotionally intelligent people, adults talking that's can handle regulate emotions where they can have tough conversations. Now it's unrealistic to think I'm going to know, or you're going to know, or we're going to know, and have every single conversation up front. But what we can agree on is a principal plan to say when we meet conflict or when we meet disagreement or when someone is triggered, we divert to this conversation to understand why. And if we can't move past that, then we can make a decision at that time at what's best.
Why
So we
should he
not.
have to do all of that though? If she's the one with the trust issue and he's telling her, hey, babe, I need you to trust me.
Yeah.
She need to just trust him because
Yeah.
that's really not his problem. You know what I'm like?
Yeah.
That's not his
So
issue to fix.
Yeah. How you
She
pick a
gotta fix
guy,
it.
you got trust issues.
it's not trust issues. We have to understand trust is multifaceted, multi-layered. So let's say this, right? Like I would trust somebody to review my resume, but not keep my newborn. It's different levels of trust. Everybody trust is not the same,
And
and trust is built
Well,
over
we're
time by
when you
talking
get with
about
a
a
repetition.
man
man,
that
yeah,
wants to marry you, though. I'm talking about
yeah,
a
I
man that's
got you.
intentional, a man that's showing you, look, you the one I want to build, you the one I want to grow with, you the one I want to have a family with. But in order and as a man, we understand, okay, I want to provide for my significant other. So
Mhm.
I have the mind state to put us in a better position, but I need your help. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So whatever that may be for a different man, but it's like you can't wait till the ball get rolling and then jump out on the motherfucker. Like that's insane because I
What is
feel
jump?
like if we had this conversation in the beginning, you could have opted out if it wasn't for you. I gave you that option. I didn't I
But
didn't
you
I didn't slick you into a position. I told you, laid it all out. This is what I want to do. If you're not with this, then you can go your way and I can go mine. But if you are with this, then this is what I need to happen. This is structure. I'm telling you, we need to do X, Y, Z so we can have A, B, and C later.
I got that. Now
But
at
it
the
seemed
same
like there's a
time,
struggle. There's a struggle with leadership, you
And
know?
if
it's
and if a woman is laying down, she's literally trusting that man with her life. So why would
exactly.
you not trust him to lead? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're trusting him with your life, like I get that was a good analogy as far as like trust somebody to read your resume or watch your baby. Like I get it, but if you're trusting somebody with your life and you want to see a future with them, why wouldn't you trust them to lead you in the right direction? You know what I'm
so
saying?
what you saying is it Kelly, Miss Kelly?
Yes.
Okay, so Miss Kelly, so what you saying is at a different stage as maybe what Jamal's saying. So Jamal's saying is in the beginning. What you're talking about is once the man has proven himself over repetitious acts, conversations, and safety, because safety has to be constantly reinforced. So once he does that, now she can lay down her life and say, I put my life in this man's hands.
I can
That
ask you a
doesn't just
question, Miss Vita.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is he sleeping with you before or after you trust him? To the degree
See,
that you're
that's so
talking about.
subjective. So that's
Um,
subjective
are
because
you
what if I
sleeping
didn't sleep with
before?
him? What if I didn't sleep with him yet?
Okay,
What if
well,
we
that means
working on this?
that means you standing on your trust, ideology. But if you sleeping with him prior to that, then now you got a flawed trust ideology.
And
Because
I agree with
if you're
that.
gonna be
I
sleeping
agree
with him,
with
then you
that.
need to fully trust
Correct.
him
Then
because he
you
can get you
gotta let it
pregnant.
go because you just gave your body to that man. But if you didn't do that now and you're in the phase of let me allow myself to see who this man is he who he say he is before I go there. So that's the different levels that Jamal is saying versus what Miss Kelly's saying.
Okay, I
Um,
want to
yeah.
go ahead, Vaughn. After you speak, I want to hear what Love got to say
No,
because
I
she
was.
ain't got much time with us, so I'm gonna let her
Oh,
get.
let
I'm
love go
gonna
there.
talk
Let
to.
love go. Let love go first.
No, go ahead, and then
No, I
she
was
can
about
go
to
after.
say sometimes that I learned the difference between compromise and finding the happy medium. And when we talk about the man woman thing, as men, we have to exercise a lot of patience towards women because they have been through some things and they have been operating in a masculine for a lot of years. I'm talking about the modern day women now. And what modern day women need to do towards us is be a little bit more understanding and graceful because I understand people run game on you and stuff like that. And some of this stuff can sound repetitious when you hear it to the ear. But a man can't tell you who he is. He has to show you who he is. And it can't be of external value. It has to be something you have to actually get close to him. Like me paying your bills or taking you out on a trip or something is not going to tell you nothing about my masculinity or my structure. Come over, you know what I'm saying? Come over, spend some time with me. See how I run my household. If I keep a clean house, you know what I'm saying? If I do a lot of these things on my own by myself, it's safe to say if I can lead myself and be disciplined myself, I can lead anybody. And it all kind of falls back into the criteria of what you use when assessing relationships, whether you're a man or woman, you know. And I've noticed that a lot of women pick and choose partners based on potential as opposed to projection.
Mm,
Okay.
I respect that. I think a lot of guys they'll tell women to do certain things. Like I remember we was talking about getting told what to do or whatnot, or
Yeah.
being able to trust. But you'll have guys who just want to help the woman out. So you'll say, "Hey, don't wear this," but they look at that as you trying to control me. I think a lot of women look at certain direction points as, "Oh, he just trying to just put um rules on me. He don't want me to go out all the time. I can't go here. I can't do this." But really, that guy really showing you that he cares for you because he's trying to take you out of bad situations, possibly, or putting yourself in them. But a lot of y'all can't take the direction, and y'all feel a certain type of way about that, and then y'all just write that guy off. But really, that's probably the guy that has your best interests.
Well, yeah, a man would definitely not put boundaries on a woman that he don't care about. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like and that's why it's so tricky when it's trying to please a woman because they so 50-50 with it a lot of times. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, they'll say, I hate a man that leaves with money, but the first thing they want to know is what you do for a living. I don't get that. Like, make it make sense. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Because
I
what you
found
do,
I found the trick. I found the trick of how you can tell how a woman assess everything in her life. Like go on Zillow, go on Redfin, right? And just start looking at like houses and look at what they choose. The majority of women either want the empty land and try to build a house from scratch where they the only ones that live in it, or they get a finished product. A lot of women don't choose the rehab houses because you got to put you
Oh
can
yeah.
you have to tear some stuff down and redecorate the rehab houses. And although you can get it at a low cost, you can rehab it to your liking. And a lot of women don't have that foresight like a man does when it comes to house
Shit.
hunting. And
A
if they
lot
ain't
of
got the house hunting, they damn sure ain't got coming towards a relationship.
What you mean,
yeah.
far as house hunting? You mean making a good
I'm giving
investment,
women
or
a
what? What do
bad
you mean?
rap.
I'm saying like if you buying a house, they either like a finished product or they like something like just a pure land so they could build something brand new and they the only ones that stay in it. You can
I was
Oh,
about to
find
say, most guys
you
won't even take the refab, but
yeah,
yeah, I can agree with you because
yeah,
I'm in the
we'll
real
get that
estate
and
field and I know.
we'll have a vision in mind of how we're gonna fix this house up and how we gonna decorate it and what room is gonna go what. And a lot of women, and see, this is where it comes to trust, because they don't see the same thing that we do when it comes to that. You get a lot of bumping heads because they can't see the vision. And that's
Yeah,
a reluctance
I
to,
can attest to that because
yeah.
I actually went through that. Like I experienced that, you know, and you know, when women they shop with their eyes and not with their experience, you know what I'm saying? They want to see, they want, like, okay, if I had a girlfriend and we was house shopping, right? Me as an investor, I know that I want to just buy me a house that need about $70,000 worth of work in it, because I
Mm-hmm.
understand that by me fixing it up, I'm literally putting money back in my own pocket. But what a woman would do is they would want to find them a nice, luxurious house that look good so they can post pictures and show it off to their friends, and they don't understand business that we're buying this house at top value. It's going to be 15 years before we can even get some money out of this motherfucker. Why would we
Mm-hmm.
do that? But you can't, you know, a lot of women don't understand that part when it comes to investing.